Hello guys, I am so excited today to be running you through how my one-to-one client Jess got this crazy result. We are 13.6 kilos down, the lightest that she has been in over 10 years, yet she is also the strongest she has ever been. And the crazy thing is, and the conversations that I have with a lot of you is, she has done this without having to flog herself on the Stairmaster or panic about the scales. And I'm going to walk you through today exactly how we've done it and why we put in place the things that we have done. Okay, so Jess came, moving the big head out of the way. There we go. Jess came to me in January 2024. Okay, so she has been with me for almost a year and a half. She was 90 kilos. She was injured. Honestly, when I tell you, this girl was like crazy injured. We're talking like both knees, both shoulders. It was a bit mental. But also, she hated what she saw in the mirror. She felt sluggish, she felt slow, she felt weak, and she really did not feel like the best version of herself. Honestly, I remember our call like it was yesterday, all this time, and my heart literally broke for her. Because of her injuries, she had massively let a lot of things slide when it came to looking after herself. So, after our initial discovery call, where we obviously mapped out exactly where she was and where she wants to be getting to, Jess came to me initially just wanting to lose weight. She did not care about strength training, nothing. She just wanted to see the kilos on the scale going down. But obviously, me being me, knew exactly what would get her those results would be focusing on the strength training side of things. So the first week that she came to me, we had a bit of an assessment week. So the main thing that came out from Jess is that she had a massive lack of knowledge on what she needed to do to make sure that she was able to see results working around her injuries. Okay, she'd been to the gym before, but because of everything that she had experienced, we had a massive lack of knowledge in there, and actually quite a lot of self-doubt came into play as well. She was worried that she'd be doing things wrong, that people would be laughing at her, that she would injure herself further, and all of these things meant that she had completely fallen out of love with the gym and looking after herself. Her nutrition was all over the place. She won't mind me saying. Jess is an incredibly busy lady. She is a nurse, plus she obviously trains. She also is a partner, she is a stepmom. There's all these sorts of different things in her life that are coming into play that means that Jess is incredibly busy. So because of that, her nutrition was literally all over the place. It was full of convenience food, grab and go. We had absolutely no nutrition routine in place at all for her. And all of this, and the main thing that had happened, is she had just stopped prioritising herself. Jess is one of three. She is also the eldest, and obviously being a stepmom and a partner as well, she found that she was giving so much of herself to everyone else that she forgot to look after herself, which ultimately led her into this position where she just no longer felt like the person that was looking back at her in the mirror was the Jess that she knew. So the plan of action that we put into place for her, starting with her training, we wanted to make sure that Jess was super confident with her training, but also we were working within the limitations of her body. Okay, so we started her off on a lot of dumbbell work and cable work. So dumbbell work is typically, we can keep the weights a little bit lighter, means that then she's able to build some really great foundational strength, build up any of the weaker areas in herself, but also it means that if she's having a bit of a day where the confidence is lower, she can take those dumbbells and go into a slightly quieter part of the gym. What this means is that over time, it's almost a little bit like exposure therapy. The more that you go to something, the easier it's going to get. So over time, Jess no longer felt the need to kind of run away and hide in a quieter corner. She really didn't care about anyone else in the gym. And it's been fantastic to see the kind of confidence transformation come in to her lifting in the gym. We applied something called progressive overload. Now, if you haven't heard of this, what this essentially means is adding a little bit of weight or an extra rep every single week to continuously build up her lifts so that we are developing that strength. Now, strength training is fantastic whether you're trying to lose a little bit of weight, get that tone and that definition in place, because the tone and definition comes from having more muscle mass, and the way that you build more muscle mass is through progressive overload. This is what is going to create that fantastic shape that will happen, because if you don't build the muscle underneath and you're focusing on losing the weight, you're just going to end up looking small rather than toned and defined. And I see it all the time when people go through like big weight loss transformations but still aren't happy because they don't have that basic underlying strength. Okay. We also utilised video feedback with Jess, so making sure that her form was immaculate and on point. The reason that I love doing this is A, Jess gets feedback straight away, week in, week out, on her lifts to make sure she's staying safe. But B, it also means that she can develop her knowledge in the gym so that she can look at a lift and know exactly what she's meant to be doing. And if something doesn't feel right in the moment, Jess is now actually able to fix the lifts herself without having to get my feedback. To the point now, she'll message me a video being like, this was set 1, this didn't feel good, but now this is set 3 and I've changed all of this. And she's actually changing the things that I would tell her to change immediately, which is fantastic to see. And within all of Jess's training, she gets instructional videos and written instructions, okay? So there was no more having to like scroll on Instagram to try and find an exercise or Googling things. She knew that she could just walk into the gym if she was unsure on anything. She had the feedback there immediately to be able to keep that confidence nice and high. Because one of the big things is if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to feel like a bit of a lemon, and that is where the lack of confidence comes in. Now, when it came to her nutrition, we actually started with Jess on macro tracking, okay? Now, macro tracking is a really, really great skill to have because it gives you more of that like black and white data. Now, it doesn't work for everyone, but Jess loves numbers, she loves graphs, and it works really, really well with her brain. However, there were times in Jess's journey with us so far when tracking did not work, whether that was for social events, she went away on holiday, things like that. So tracking was a skill that we were able to implement here and there when it was convenient, but other times we used things like food journals or portion guides to make sure that she was still able to have a life. And that is the important thing. You want a nutrition protocol that works with you, but also enables you to have a life, okay? We also taught her how to navigate all of her social events. So for a bit of context, right now, Jess is currently the maid of honour for her sister's wedding that is in a couple of months' time. She is also in the middle of planning her own wedding. So there are a lot of social events coming into play, dress fittings, meals out, all of these sorts of things. Jess is able to now, because we are deep into it and she knows exactly what she's doing, she's now able to navigate every single social event that she goes to with ease because she knows how to implement all the strategies that we've put into place because she's had so much practice with it. We also introduced a routine. So one of Jess's big issues was that she had very little time to be able to dedicate to things. So she couldn't be cooking every single night. She just didn't have the hours. So we made sure that within Jess's week, she had time to be pre-tracking everything, getting that meal prep in, even if it's just components. So on her long 12-hour shifts that she's doing, she goes to work fully knowing that all the food that she has with her is going to help her achieve her goals. And I know that you're looking at these numbers thinking, yeah, right, Jess doesn't lose weight on that sort of calories. She does. And this is the crazy thing, okay? When you have a higher muscle mass in your body, you are able to cut down on a higher amount of calories, okay? And it's just fantastic to see that we are able to bring women out of what I like to call the poverty calories and give them a good amount of food where they still feel satisfied and satiated, but Jess was able to lose this crazy amount. I can tell you now, Jess never went. The lowest amount of calories we ever went with Jess was 1,800 calories. For her to be able to lose over 2 stone, 1,800 calories was the cutoff point for her. That is mental, okay? We prioritise the protein. As you can see, Jess is amazing at hitting her protein. We prioritised the protein to make sure that her body had enough energy and protein in her to be able to build good muscle for that tone and definition. But then we also made sure that she was eating enough food to be able to feel good. If you hit the afternoon slumps, the likelihood is you're probably not eating enough during the start of the day. So we made sure that Jess didn't hit that afternoon slump, as well as being able to lose the weight that she has been losing. Then when it comes to her lifestyle, now with life, I always say we want to make sure that we can live it. So we are looking for an 80% completion rate on her habits. And obviously Jess hitting 8,000 steps a day, we are looking at an 84% completion rate, okay? And it's one of those little things. I do not need you to be perfect, and you should not be striving for perfection, because that's going to set you up for failure. Instead, what we did with Jess is we applied a 1% better mindset. I'm not looking for her to be able to climb mountains immediately, but what I am looking for is for her to improve every single week by 1%. If you can apply that same logic to your own training or your habits or your lifestyles, whatever it is, then that compound effect is going to kick in, and that could lead you to getting the same results that Jess has been seeing. We also made sure to time block her weeks. Like I said, Jess is mega busy. If she was going to approach every single week without a plan of action, things were going to go wrong. So we needed to make sure that every single week she had that routine in place. Like I've said, Jess is a nurse. She literally works 12-hour shifts and night shifts multiple times a week. If Jess wants to succeed, she has to be on top of things. She also got all the support from myself and the community, so she always felt like she had someone to go to, okay? And this is the really important thing. I want you to make sure that you're looking at the people that you surround yourself with, and are they going to be beneficial or detrimental to your routine and to your goals? And this is why we have the Team UC group chat for the community, but also you get myself. I always say to all of my girls, I am your biggest cheerleader. If you need me, please message. I'm a call away. We also made sure that we inputted weekly brain dumps into Jess's routine. What we often find is that we like to keep a lot of stuff up in our brains. What this means is that we get overwhelmed very, very quickly. So by getting everything out of our brain onto a piece of paper and dividing it into two camps, a to-do list and a thoughts and emotions, you can tackle the to-do list. The thoughts and emotions you can journal about and deal with at a later date. But if you get it out of the brain, it is going to massively benefit you. And this was the crazy results. Now this is Jess's latest progress photos. So we are 13.6 kilos down as of this week, which is the lightest she has been in 10 years. Okay, that's mental. For any of you lot that work in like a stone, this is over 2 stone loss, which is just crazy. Not only can you obviously see some really, really great definition here in Jess's kind of like core region. From the side, her glutes are looking amazing. The hamstring we've got in there, you can't see it with the lighting, but underneath Jess's tattoos, we've got some really great upper body definition going in there as well. Which means that yes, she has lost a huge amount of weight, but she's also getting a physique that looks strong and defined and toned, and that is from her being the strongest she has ever been. And this is why I champion weightlifting as much as I do. If your goals are to create tone and to create definition, then you are going to want to be picking up some weights and coming away from the cardio, because the cardio is not going to give you the tone and definition that you're after. Okay, the weight loss for Jess has come from her consistently tracking her food and making sure that she is getting her steps in. That is what gets their weight loss. The training is what gets that crazy definition, okay? So yes, that's the physical results, but just from like a lifestyle point of view, we have created for Jess a sustainable lifestyle that she can literally stick to even when she's busy. Like I said, she's got a hen party, she's got dress fitting, she's got her own wedding to be dealing with, she's travelling for her sister's wedding, she's just competed in a powerlifting competition, she's a nurse, she's a stepmom. Like literally when I say Jess is one of the busiest women I've ever met in my life, like she is, okay? It is crazy, but she's able to prioritise her health and fitness because she knows now it makes her feel good. If she's able to put back into her own cup, then she's able to deliver back to everyone else and support them. So much of Jess's life is looking after other people. And if she isn't looking after herself, she has found that she's not able to give back to other people in the way that she wants to. Okay? She is now officially a fully qualified nurse, because when she first came to me, she was doing her qualification and she is now officially qualified. She also came second in her first ever powerlifting competition, okay, which is huge. So like I said at the beginning, Jess came to me initially for purely weight loss. She has now transitioned into powerlifting because she enjoyed her weightlifting that much. And she came second in her first ever competition, qualifying for one of the national comps, which is huge. She is more confident in her body than ever before. Like, the thought of putting on a bikini when she goes away on holiday does not stress her out anymore. And she's able to utilise, oh great spelling there Rachel, hey ho, she's able to utilise her nutrition routine and knowledge to maintain this weight loss, okay? Obviously, we have the natural fluctuations that you will see every single day. I have only ever seen in my 4 years of coaching one client's graph flatline. Okay, I've worked with over 100 of women over the 4 years, but Jess has now been able to utilise her nutrition knowledge to make sure that the graph is doing this rather than going up and then crazy downs. Okay, she's now able to maintain her weight loss for life. And she is still with us to this day, not because she doesn't know what she's doing, but because she enjoys the community so much. And she likes pushing herself and she wants that next goal. And that is amazing. And that is why Jess has seen the results that she has seen, because she has finally broken free from that diet cycle where it's like, okay, cool, I've got to lose the weight now, and this is how I'm going to do it, and this is how I'm going to do it, the quickest that I'm going to be able to do it, to then put it all back on again. In over a year and a half, Jess has never once yo-yoed on her weight. And it's because she now has the tools and the knowledge to be able to put things into play. Okay? So I do hope this made sense. And obviously, if you guys do have any questions, please let me know. But this has been Jess's amazing transformation of 13.6 kilos down, the lightest she's ever been in 10 years. And Jess, if you're watching this, my love, I'm so stinking proud of you. You smashed it. Now, I'm going to pop a link somewhere, probably down below, if you're watching this on YouTube. If you want to inquire and go through kind of like the same process that Jess has done, then obviously go click on that, fill that out, I'll be in touch. But if you're watching this from Instagram, then just come back to me in the DMs, message me, and we can have a chat. But I hope this has been informative and inspirational, and have a wonderful rest of your day.